Everybody else put all their hand together. Remember, I say let them finish first, and then everybody got arti with Baba and get the blessing. So you understand what we're praying for. So this is an example. If I were doing prayers for myself, this is something it is chant when the prayer is going to finish. And you're asking the goddess, Ma, you have to calm down so that things in this house go back to normal. And to be honest, not necessarily normal, but better than normal. So you have to say a prayer now and use your home address. We come here and we come to pray for a particular purpose. Yeah. Yeah. Set one on your mic. Here. That same one. Right. So we'll get them that too. Hari Om Ayo Argoya Putra Adi Sukshri Praptyamam Apad Vigana Vinashya Shatru Buddhi Shayascha Vishesh Kamya Hum Sahitam Samidhya Adi Grahan Sarvarahu Ketu Purasara Grihan Devasya Nakshatram Sudevascha Indra Adi Bhyayascha Digapalischa Brahma Vishnu Maheshwara Vastu Shanti Durga Shanti Ganeshaya Shanti Kshetrapal Shanti Samukta Bhumi Shanti Antariksha Devascha Kul Shanti Kul Devascha Shanti Matrika Shanti Chaturbhyayascha Shanti Vidhyayascha Shanti Sarva Rudra Shanti Sahitayam Ya Tatha Sagram Divya Patalani Urgavlok Sarva Sudaisa Parvata Rishya Sarva Ganga Adiya Sarito Dhruvanam Aditya Adiya Grahan Yagyam Yugyam Kartum Prasidamam Mama Shedam Ayur Argoyam Param Shri Suk Apate Sa Bhandu Sut Bharyasya Vanchitasya Artasya Siddhidam Adivyari Jaram Mrityu Blesho Kapat Tasya Shri Vanchita Artasya Shri Adivyari Jaram Mrityu Blesho Kapat Hut Bhut Bhavish Trividya Utapap Shantaya Sarva Saubhag Sampati Nishpati Asya Karmanam Om Samudratva Avak Agnaye Priyam Vam Asya Pavako Asma Bhayam Shivo Bhava Him Satva Jara Yugyam Priyam Vam Asya Pavako Asyam Bham Shivo Bhava Om Namo Sitaram, Sitaram, everybody, because of the crowd there, all make all yourself small, fit up, make sure everybody get a seat. If we fill up with chair here, there, we might have to start to put chair up, some people up here. Sitaram Baba. Akashatam patitam toyam yadha grakshatim tu sagaram sarvo devam namaskaram Keshava Patigrakshatim. Prem Sabolo Shri Vishnu Bhagwan ki Jai. We continue to pray. This prayer is considered to be a kavach. As you learn about your prayer, a kavach is just as how you have Ashtakam, 8 verse, Chalisa, 40 verse. Kavach mean armor. It is a different strength of prayer. Where when are they doing arti during the bell and thing now? Let's just do all the stuff. This is where the person is asking for different blessing. So, for example, I'm going to read the Surya because I know who here. If my heart, my circulation, blood pressure, eyesight, or skin-related problem, if I have psoriasis, if I have allergy, all these things are under the protection, cause, and effect of Surya. How does God affect me? Negatively, Surya affects these things. So people have growth in their eye, they have heart-related problems, diverse problems, agreed, but it is stemming from that deuta. So the person that's going to puja and offer a little sweet rice and other sweet or healthy fruits, for example, in a karmic step, how I give is so I get. This morning we're going on prayer again. Put your hands together and say your prayers. If you don't have these problems, nothing wrong. Say your prayers and ask that I don't get the problem. Right? Hari Om Surya Kavach Pat Diva Karolo Guru Kritam Mai Prasad Devam Om Granam Madir Adityo Lok Rakshan Karkaha Visham Santan Sambhutanam Pera Hartu Ravi Shrunushva Muni Shardul Suryasya Kavacham Shubham Shariram Argoyam Divyam Sarva Saubhagadayakam Dadipayam Muktam Suparna Makkar Kundalam Idam Shri Dhyatva Sahasra Kiranam Stotram Idam Udid Shiro Mein Bhaskara Patu Lalatam Mein Amit Dyu Naitya Naitya Din Mani Patu Shravanam Vatsara Ishwara Granam Dharma Grini Patu Vadanam Veda Vahana जीवन में मंदह पातु कंठम में सूर वंदिता स्कंदो प्रभाकरा पातु व्यक्ष पातु जन प्रियः पातु पादौ द्वादश आत्मा सर्वागानम संकल ईश्वर सूर्य रक्षा आत्मा श्री स्तोत्र लिखित वेद भुज भात्रे ददाति य करे तस्य व्यक्षग सर्व सिद्ध्य सुष्णात ये जप सम्याग यो दित्यस्त मानसः सो रोग मुक्त दीर्घ अयो सुक्तम पुष्टिम च वंदितम ओम सांबा सांबा महाबाहो शृणु मे कवच शुभम त्रैलोक मंगलम नाम कवचम परमम अद्भुतम श्री सूर्य नारायण स्वामी की जय. When somebody does Surya Puran, as we remember, in this case, I know you know about this, the value of Surya Puran or Surya Puja. If somebody asks you, as a Hindu, as part of your discourse this morning, where did the proliferation, where did the popularity of Surya Puja come from? Because it is quite popular. Of the 9 planets, it is the one that every Hindu long ago, when they used to have 3 days prayer, we all did Surya Puran, Suraj Puran, etc. And to answer the question, it has to do, children, all listen down. It has to do with Lord Krishna. Krishna has in Bhagwat a son named Samba. Samba is Lord Shiva reincarnate. When Krishna has to go, leave the earth, Lord Shiva is the one, where we learn in the Bhagwat, he's the one who is separate, break things. So he had to break Vishnu again to leave. In Ram Janam, he become as Durvasa Rishi. Krishna Janam, he take this form as the sun. So the weapon that has to shoot Krishna in his foot. Imagine, just like how we come together, according to that discourse, all the munis, all the people that we hear about in this jug, Vashish, and all these characters, they come together to sit down and talk about Kali Yuga, part of where we're going to talk about today. So he put all the pundit them together. And after doing this whole sabhan, telling them how we have to change our prayers, we have to make prayers simpler, for example. We have to make it more accessible for people. Krishna is telling them, follow me. Samba is a very wicked, although he's Lord Shiva, wicked person. So imagine after the sabha, after the meeting, all the pundit and everybody walking out the front door. Time to go home. Samba and all the other children of Lord Krishna want to test the pundit and them. Hear me? Somehow, maybe Kali Yuga coming, I don't know. Here I tell, listen to this affectly. So when of all the pundit that coming out the door, Vashish Muni, who is Sri Ram Godfather, he's a little more loving, soft. You know, it have pundit who rough, who go talk their mind like me, and I go tell you what to tell you. And then it has some, he say, yeah, that's true. And then it has some babas who are a little more loving. Like when we had the jag, for example, with Pandit Jiwan from Karni. You see how he nice and mellow? Even if he had to tell you something, he might rough you up and you may not realize. For the children, that the fella who they say, do you follow or fall low? So Vashish is more like Pandit Jiwan, very loving and gentle. Samba dress up as a girl, full disguise. Put a pillow under the sari now. He say, if you are a pundit and you have this drishti, you have this power to see, Pandit Ji, I am depending on you this morning. Tell me if I am going to have a boy or I am going to have a girl as a game, as a trick. It's a pillow. It is a pillow. So Vashish Muni see the game and he put a strap. He said, don't worry, you're going to make a mortar and pestle. But that mortar and pestle going to be the end of your line. It going to bring destruction. So the son now, Samba, get frightened because, well, look what this man say. This is a full discourse. Follow me. Samba, instead of run, he could have go right there inside the room, run by his father and say, Dad, look, X, Y, and Z happen. But he didn't do that. He run by his grandfather, Krsna, like Devki father. You know, the grandfather is the softer guy. Pa are in trouble. So and so happened, so and so was said, and look, when we moved the sari, on top the pillow really had a mortar and a pestle. So Krsna take the mortar and pestle metal and they grind it to powder. And say, well, if it ain't no mortar and pestle, me know a mortar and pestle will kill all of we, but it ain't no mortar and pestle now, so it ain't no risk, grind it to powder. Tell the blacksmith, the person who grind it, take the shavings, it have a pond in the city, go and throw it in the pond and let it sink down. All right. When they throw it in the water, the plant on the bank, if you go in Vrindavan, you will see a different kind of reed. The people who is the Kshatri, they pick this reed to fashion the arrow. So it is laid grow there. And the fish swallow, gobble, gobble, gobble some of the metal, so much that at the end of the katha, when the fisherman went, he catch a fish, long story short, and inside the fish had a lump of ore, or the metal. So, sell it, and somebody take a reed and started to make arrow, fashioning the metal into an arrow head. At the end of that chapter, they said the weapon that would destroy the Yadhu family is now made. With bad sign and bad time, Krishna tells everybody, Kali Yuga is coming. Darkness is coming. Brethren, friends, family, not only family, we need to empty the cities. When the arrow now, they say this is the weapon that will destroy them. Krishna and Balaram tell them, let us empty Dwarka, their city. So they send all the people, imagine a line of Bulkyat, they pack up everything, they empty the city. Only the heroes remain. And they started to drink liquor. The same Christian family started to drink liquor. And they started to talk about in their youth how they used to fight and fight this one and they fight the war and they win the war. So Christians say, brothers, don't go down that road now. Under the liquor, you might say something you're not supposed to say. Shh. So now they say, and they kind of wave here off my family, the Boj family is stronger than your family, Vrishni. And they start to compete. Drunken people start to fight, wrestle now. And in the wrestling, it get a little serious. Joke until it get bad. When the lashes started to get serious, I have a bar across the road, I know how it is look. Fight start to break out. Weapons start to use. And when this weapon break, it finish, they start to grab until the point they pick up this dangerous set of arrow we talk about. Christian tell them, put down that. That is reserved. Do not interfere with that. That will destroy all you. He begged his sons, Pradyamuna, the same Samba, the different people, stop. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. And in the drunken stupor, the only person that stand up with Krishna is Balaram. Balaram is a beautiful discourse. One day I will read it for you. Anytime somebody have Bandara and the press finish and we're going to read this discourse in the home. Balaram squeals at them And he says, if you charge at Krishna, I will rip you apart. I do not care who you are. I have come upon this earth to protect him and protect people that pray to him. If you pick up that arrow and you say Krishna is a trickster, Krishna is always testing us, he's favoring this cousin over that cousin. If you charge Krishna, I am warning you, hold your ground. If you step forward, it will be the end of you. Now remember, in our Yagna, Gandhari, the wife of the blind man from Bhagwat Gita, Dhritarashtra, when the war was finished, she said, Krishna, I put my mouth on you. I, as a mother, my belly empty and I am bleeding. My breast run milk and today it will run blood because you could have stopped this battle. I lost 100 sons and you will have to face that fate. All your sons, all your family will end up in conflict. Till today, when people talk about land war and the conflict that families and things have, it is look very familiar to some of the discourses that we hear about inside family. One of the traits of this Kali Yuga is this problem of possession. And one of the reasons why it continues till today is because of this shrap that Gandhari gave. For all the families, the lineage, the genetics that stood on those places where we came from, North India, we taught that as part of us. And if you overcome it, God bless you, if you could live in peace. But if there's a tendency to fight for land, and some people greedy, some people not, for the 5-inch land by the bong, consider this part. Gandhari says you and your entire race will fight and kill each other, just like you allowed mine to kill each other over a footstool of land, a foothold of land. That will follow you. When they were in the city now, it is time for this moment to play. The lady mouth take them. All the family, the whole life, they fight together. They support it as one unit with Krishna. Now every one of them turn on Krishna and Balaram. Balaram is crying to see his nephews, the sons of Krishna. When somebody says Kali Yuga, for everybody who's sitting here this morning, when you have family problems, when you have differences with the neighbor, when you have these type of issues and your heart breaking, do you think is you alone? When you have to go to God and you're asking God, what really I do? Two are we grow up eating in the same pot. Look how we end up. How come siblings just have these type of problems? How come it is end up my children better than your children? Consider the reality in we text. And when somebody says it's Kali Yuga, it started when Krishna left. Now they start to fight, and Balaram with tears raining down his face starts to rush the big son of Krishna. The same Pradyamana we talk about. And when they took up the weapons, they started to destroy each other. Dwarka became coated in the blood of the family of Krishna. And with that blood and that heaviness, the place became very heavy. Heavy. For this reason, when that battle was done, according to Bhagavad, Dwarka sinks into the ocean. As Krishna stepped out, the only two people that live in after that fight, Balaram and Krishna. The two of them walk out. It says Balaram was totally red with the blood of the family. And Krishna was sad to see what became of them. But he knew why he had to do it. He makes the decision that the family now, this Yadhu family feel, don't touch me, my family is Krishna, my father is Krishna, I could do what I want, kind of behavior. So he says, in order to do my work and free Mother Earth from all the trouble, now my children and my family become the trouble. And this is why he allowed it to play. When that was done, and Dwarka goes into the water, when Gandhari went and she cursed him again, think what I'm telling you. You hear last night how Kapil, this other form of Lord Vishnu, nobody here know when he born, nobody here know how he born, what area, what time. We don't celebrate it. When you hear of how Sri Ram leaves the earth, and it's a big deal, and people still go till today in the Suryo River to bathe, Christian Katha, they will never tell you exactly how he dies or leaves the earth. There are three versions of that discourse. One, where he comes off the chariot and he walks into an unknown, unspecified area, and he goes on that peepal tree. The hunter that was Bali in Ram Janam comes back as Jara and shoots him in the foot with this magic arrow. But Gandhari says nobody will know where you die. You will die like a vagrant side the road. Nobody will know. Nobody will celebrate. Nobody will do puja in that spot. Nobody will find you. Only the trees will know the truth. For that reason, when Krishna is starting to bleed, the peepal tree pulls the blood. And for that reason, from then to now, people still worship the peepal tree. But the spot, the earth, or the river, nobody didn't know. In one text, it say he disappeared. In one text, it say his body went into the Yamuna. In one text, it says when Lord Shiva come to tell him it's time to go, Lord Shiva holy hand and two of them went up. That part with Lord Shiva holy hand, that is where Geeta Mahatyam come. When the person started to talk about Bhagwat Gita, and the Gita is the body of Krishna, and why we just give it, that is the part where imagine Krishna floating off the planet. Now he leave, he going back to Golok, and Mother Earth come and she beg him, where you going? If you go now, everything will go backward. Everything will go crazy. He says, man, no. I left a divine song on the earth. Divine song, Bhagwat, divine song, Gita. If the person use the book, as we will hear just now, if the person do the prayers, touch it, bow to it, read it, my form, right there. I am there. I am supported. I am supporting this person and this family. Prem Sabolo Vindravan Bihari Lala Ki Jai. So far we gaining with knowledge about Surya. We're learning about the family of Krishna, the history of the Gita book, and just now we're going to finish. Whilst they're continuing, I believe Pandit Shivan have to cut out to go to prayers. So Babs, come and lead me in with first blessing this morning. Let me explain, Pandits, let me explain. It's not a big set of reading. We did Visarjan, we did the Shanti part, we did that last night. So what we did this morning for the purpose of time, with after talking to each one of you, in trying to get all here and keeping all the schedules, we do a simpler prayers this morning, so we don't have to do the whole Shiva Hare and all of that. It's really Gita, and it have some people that would like to wash all their foot and do all their worship. I would just like you to bless them. That is more or less it this morning. When we're done, we have some doubles and pani puri. You could have bring alvai. You're going to see wages. It's a little different, right? So everybody, let me join with Pandit Shivan as he giving me a little mantra, a little inspiration, a little blessing this morning before he have to leave, because he had to leave just now too.
Bodhi Satya Sanatan Dharma ki
Jai.
Jai Sitaram.
Sitaram.
A little bit louder, I don't hear too well. Sitaram, everybody.
Sitaram.
This morning, of course, is a great blessing and, of course, a great privilege to join with Panditji and, of course, his wonderful Dulahin, members of the Mandir in this beautiful Yagna. However, I was unable to be here for the past couple days, and this morning, being hectic as well, I said, you know what, if it's just 10 minutes, I have to come. Just to support Panditji. And why? You all would have noticed throughout the 21 sessions, the amount of knowledge that was shared. Even though I wasn't here, in the night I will look at the satsang. And so much of knowledge was shared. Everybody agree with that? So much lessons for life. And this morning the question is, how much of these lessons are we going to apply to our lives? When we come to the yajna, we're looking for the parasad, Baba. But what is the real parasad? Not the Mahanbhog alone, but the lessons that we learn from the Vyas. And one night we all know Baba spoke about the Vyasa, and I agree 100%. So the lessons from the Bhagavad is what we should apply to our lives. And Panditji has given us so many beautiful lessons. This morning, I urge you to take these lessons and apply them into your life, maybe just a few. And also, whilst he guides us on the trending path of devotion, before we begin to trend that path of devotion, we must, of course, accept and adapt to humility. Because humility is, oh, yeah, know that here? Humility is divinity. Be humble, share love, be loving, forgive, forget, destroy the anger and the hatred and the jealousy and who better than who and who have more than who. Because as we all know, when we die, where we going? We all go in the same place. Eh? There's no place where anybody better than who. Live a peaceful and a dharmic life. It's the first step of devotion. You could light all the diya and you could offer 10 bucket adhar. And if you have no humility, you have no love in your heart, you're looking down on others, Bhagwan comes nowhere close, because all that adds up to what? Abhiman. What is Abhiman? Ego. And ego is spelled E-O, edging God out. So this morning, whilst Panditji is guiding us on the path of Sanatana Dharma, let us use the first step of devotion. Let us all be humble, share love, be loving, forgive, and forget. We all make mistakes sometimes in life. And so, my dear friends, Bhagavad Mahapurana has taught us so many beautiful lessons. Apply them to your lives and allow it to help us to become better human beings throughout this journey of life. I congratulate Panditji, of course, on taking the opportunity to share his knowledge with all of us. And more so, not just on the Singhasan, not just at the Bedi, but as you all know, Panditji is doing so much for our community, for our country at large. It's the first Pandit that I know, maybe you all know more, but the first Pandit that I know would go to the hospital and pray with ailing people, giving them hope that they need in that time. He makes the time for it. It's the only Pandit I know that does a book drive or a clothes drive or something like this, a blood drive. And I congratulate him for that. And he doesn't do it for any name or fame. He does it from his heart. And we all could see that. Together with his wonderful Dulahin. I'm sure all of this is possible with her blessing, because you can't do it alone. And with the blessings of the members of the Mandir and Bhagwan's blessings, Panditji, continue to do the wonderful work that you are doing for Sanatana Dharma and even for our community. Because everything that Panditji does, you all will hear him say, it's not just for Hindu people. It is for everybody. And that is how we have to live, in togetherness, in oneness, my dear friends. And with this in mind, I invite you all to draw your palms together. As we close the physical eyes, we surrender to the feet of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. He Leela Purushottamaha, He Sarva Sachitana Nirakar Sarveshwara, Koti ko barambar namaskar karta hu Bhagwan. May you bless the Guru of this wonderful mandir, the Guru Mai, and of course may you bless all divine souls joining with us this morning in devotion. May you bless all Yagyakarta and all devotees joining in devotion. May you bless this mandir to continue to grow from strength to strength, and may you bless each and everyone, bless their homes and their families, we pray. Hari Om. Together. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kam Suchana Umaranam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Mande Jagat Guru Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangulam Gayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Mande Paramanandamadavam. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bole Bindravan Bihari Lal Ki Jai.
Thank you, Baba. Let me give him a clap. Song. It's so funny he say that Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. How much time you go on prayers and you hear somebody sing that, or a funeral and they sing that. For all we pundit and for all we people, for children, please remember what I'm going to tell you here. There's something called the Kali Santa Rana Upanishad. It is taken from the Yajurveda. Narad Muni, at the end of Dwapar, the same time when Krishna leaving, comes back. Krishna has left the earth. The Geeta is announced. And he tells his father, it seems as if Kali Yuga is upon the earth and the place is very heavy. I feel as if, in English, the gravity is stronger. It is pulling me down. And I cannot move easily from place to place. It seems as if the earth is changing. And I don't understand how a person who does good or is goodly is still being affected in this very negative way. Dear Father, I am a person that worships Vishnu Baba in the form of Sri Hari Vishnu Narayan. And that name is sufficient to transcend any problem. But Kali Yuga seems to be very potent. Could you please tell me what I could do? Hear this part. What I could do when life seems very heavy, you are bogged down, you have your share of problem and predicament. What to do? He says, Narad, Hiranyagarbha Brahma told him that the answer is to chant the name of God. It is very beneficial if the person is able to overcome the conflict with this Kali Yuga by usage of the name. What name should I use? He says the person uses the 16 syllable mantra or the 16 names of God. He says, true. This is the mantra. What is the mantra? Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. What is the benefit of this 16 syllable mantra? Depending on the person, their body, unknown to them, is coated or covered with layers of karma. The person struggles to see the light of God in their life. Hold on, everybody. Do your prayer, but don't talk. The person lives a life as if they are in perpetual darkness. This Kali Yuga is considered the dark age. And when darkness pervades over the person, they are lost and they cannot tell where the wall, where the door, where to walk, where not to walk, for example. So sometimes in trying to find, tell me this song is familiar. Sometimes in trying to find the solution to my problem, I get myself in more problem. I may be trying a tablet that could damage me. I may try a herb that damaged me. I may try some kind of prayers that damage me. I didn't know what it is. Somebody tell me, try it, it might work. I tried it and now I had to bear the consequence of it. I didn't know too much about that, but I end up in it because I'm in trouble. One of the features, Narad, of this age is the trouble. When a person does not understand what they're doing or the regulations that any prescription that come with any medication or any prayer method. So last night when we were talking about Balidan and the breaking of the coconut, for example, I break coconut, I see 100 people in front of me and I break in coconut. First and foremost, if you choose to break the coconut, that's on you. That is your choice. I seen it. But understand why you're breaking it. Because our Satyanarayana prayer, for whom is it, shows the person offering the living coconut where life is maintained inside and the person is given this gift. Dear God, how I give is so I get. It remains alive. When you watch Satyanarayana Pitya, when you watch where they put the coconut on the kalsa, I am worshipping the God or the life inside the nut. If I put it to grow, it will grow. The beauty of this form is because there's no male, there's no female, there's no tall, short, thin, fat, none of that. It's just the energy of God. So you, God, I want to put a mala in simple language. When you do your part for Durga prayer, you'll see the person take the whole coconut, rest it in the fire. When they're doing Rahu prayers and the person is having all types of negative thoughts. Better kill myself. I have a child, for example, that is very self-destructive. Parents who have children that are cutting the wrist to get attention, for example. Use the coconut, big coconut, put it on the chest, and when they finish do the job, launch it into the water, returning it to the element that you offering, like how we just offer dar in the river. But the energy that I am giving, the logic is, please bless this child with the energy to come out of this darkness or this, my words, stupidness that they're doing. But when we go to the side of breaking the coconut, I am just simply saying, understand that Bali Dan refers to the Dan of murder. It is where you are destroying the coconut, releasing the life, so that the gift goes where you want it to go. For example, just like when people do Balidan with goat, with hog, with different animals, and it is being given in that way. So in this case, imagine somebody I following on it, I see all of them do it, so I do it too. It becomes a feat. I go to prayers. Follow me. I go to prayers. I am not the person that don't know about prayers. I am Kurta wearing in the temple parsat goblin type of person. But I have family trouble. Only look at that chair down there. I have legal problems. I have cancer and I do in the temple more than the pundit. But sometimes we doing stuff wrongly. We're doing it incorrect. That is why Geeta is advocate sattvic prayer rather than tamasic prayer. If we really get into the Geeta, that is where we are trying to upgrade we self. By upgrading we pray. Imagine somebody is fasting, but according to Devi Bhagwat, are not supposed to share certain food when I'm doing Devi prayer, when I have Bhagwat. Read the first part in the Mahatyam of Devi Bhagwat. You're going to say when you're doing she prayers, hear this troubling part. Everybody going to vex with me. Don't make pumpkin. Don't make bygone. Truthful. Beside the meat, beside this, because of the chemical in those plants, just like the onion, if you read it in Durga prayers, it is a different menu. But what we just do is be kind of backward. It is the opposite, truthfully. And you hear Baba, how you go do our prayers and you go share a little shatain, boy? Another example for all these pundits here, correct me if I'm wrong. And it is say you have to give sattvic gift. But I just put dal in my Siddha. What's the problem with that? All you know about prayers, come on. It can't grow. If I given something in Dan that is fertile, it have a seed, it have the ability to bring a plant, it have value, it have life. I given the Baba this, and in giving Dan, I want the blessing, unless you're giving like me, hampers for people to eat. If the purpose is to eat, that's different. But if I'm doing something, God bless me upon it, bless me, I want to overcome this surgery, I want to get through. I want this man stop hitting me when the day come. Truthful. I want the blessing. Then the quality of the gift you are given makes a difference. Then the quality should be something that is fertile. Let me say red bean, black eye, and other beans that you could find. But the dal is something that's split. You could plant dal in where you want, aquaculture, any normal itego grow, and you understand that. It is an example of how we just get it wrong. They tell you, though, if I tell you, and if I tell you I plant 7-pot pepper in the back, man, I go in and give Pandit Ramadas a bag of pepper. After I make Geeta bath, I given him a bag of, sit down, I given him a bag of pepper. And you watch me, Pandit, that wrong, boy. Pandit, it is too appropriate. All them Pandit go jam. That is good, that bitter way you get. So then when you put curry, anchar masala, and all them other type of seasoning, what you doing? If it is defined in Geeta, if I go and read Geeta now and we sing the nice language, all them Baba them could do it better than me. I'm getting old. We're going to miss the message and we're going to up singing. Just for this morning, could we improve in we praise? That is what I say. So if somebody says, I have pawpaw in my yard, I have cucumber, I have rice, I have something that, not bitter, not tainted with that, that better. For all my tanti and them who like to quarrel about rice. Last one, I'll leave in here after this. Which is the better rice? Tell me. Let me do a little poll here. Brown rice, white rice. All you know that white rice is just bleach, washed brown rice. Processed rice, it don't come out from the ground white. And what it is do, they're taking out the starch from the rice. So they kill it. It have less marrow. That's why it is boiled so fast. So the white rice have the less health content. So if I give it, it really less healthy. So I offer it by memory to get blessing, but I put in something, let me say basmati rice. It had a time somebody making plastic rice. Semi-plastic. Imagine I offering that and I asking God, I giving you a healthy thing, bless me. Better than brown rice is. Where it is pour on the Gobardan, where the pour out is pour on the Khalsa, when they had the wedding, a rice that could grow. Whether you say hill rice or jaw or however you want to call it, something that has life. You know why the cedar, I only picking on cedar. You know why the cedar big, how it big? Because things hard now, That way the grocery selling your boy. It never tell you a pound of red bean. If this is the size, if you go to New York, say Brandon, and that is true. This is the size of the bean. I see that could be a little gift bag if you want. If that way your pocket rich, give it, but give it with a good heart. You know it is for somebody to give a pack of red bean and God, body bound to get a man a whole pound of red bean. He only sing one chalisa for me in my prayers. If I have to give it with a good heart, consider what I'm saying. Things are getting harder. It's harder for you. Okay. You could put fruit. You could put vegetable because of the health content. And that's fine. All the pundit and them like me, we trying to eat good. We trying to get healthy. You know how much parsad I eat in my life? Truthful. Tanti, because say, pundit, you can't leave this house if you eat that. And Tanti making sure, correct me if I'm wrong, she making sure you get enough. That is why in the jug, when the children were making the mahanbog and trying to teach them how to do it, we did not use the suji powder or the cream of wheat method. If you read the cream of wheat method, it have good in it, but it also has salt in it. Read it, you're going to see what I say. For that reason, the patch method or the Surya method, where they use things like bran flakes, barley, in our case, we use fresh fruit like the Hare Krishna. So we did pineapple, we did fig one day. When you're patching it, you're throwing in the fruit, and then you're coming with pag and mix. The last day, for all the girls and them, they do, how you call it? The pink thing? Dragon fruit. It's healthy. And mix it. They blend it, they throw it in, counteract the milk, throw it in, turn it up. It looked just like parsad, just a little pink. I went to Lord Krishna with that healthy substance and said, dear God, bless it. And everybody accepted it as prasad. We talk a lot about prasad. How you're supposed to bow to it and take the blessing of the Lord. Why it is bow to your chest, that's my circulation center. Send it throughout my body, God. My nerves, I have sugar and it's hitting me. My nerves, my foot getting numb, my hand getting numb, different thing happening. Bless my body. And the part where Lord Shiva didn't share parsad, and that is why we do it from the lingam. Make sure and share parsad, and then you jata. Don't play greedy. We do not eat first. This morning, I have people over. Always see for the jag how I send all to eat in the back, and I relax here talking to people. That decorum is built in our religion and culture. Where we just get it wrong, ask all these pundits here. Correct me if I'm wrong, everybody. Oliver went to Bandara and see, right, I is the host. I use it myself. You eat 5 mouthfuls first. And then the Brahman or the person with the Janeo who when I wash his foot because he chanted Gayatri, he come to bless my house. He had to watch me eat. But you is my guest. It's little examples where I just showing you. Tanti Oliver say, well, Baba, we know it so. My mother-in-law know it so, but you know it wrong. You know it wrong. It's wrong. When you hear people talking a pack of stupidness about the dead man want to go back in the house, and you know who going and told coffin, but the day I lie down in a coffin, good luck, you know. That is garbage, truthful. That is hearsay. Garbage, just like when long time they said take down curtain and turn wrong pity. And then the Hindu realize why we stop it. Follow me. They learn. You ever hear somebody say, I see the man up the road do that? In my example of the pity and the mirror. You know why we used to do it? The man up the road was Muslim. And in the Muslim faith, they believe that if God come, the angels of God, come through the door, and they are met with eyes, like how we have Ganesh Baba eyes watching, the angels turn around and leave. So you will see a picture of Hindu God, Ganesh, you will see a picture of Jesus, but you will not see a picture of Allah or his messenger. Understand the people you live and work with. That is why you will see maybe in a store the name of God, but not the picture of God. Some people, they insult Islam, they just make up it, AI and all these things, and it has caused trouble because of their belief. So if somebody said, this is the Muslim God, this is a pity, and you see our face today, if you didn't understand that, remember, that is real. So we watch the man up the road, you cannot have a mirror because it will reflect your eye, or a pity, so them see it, and we start to do it. When people understood their dharma a little more, compared to those people dharma, they stop it. There are many examples of that. The concept of weak. My favorite is be Pandit Sharma, when people used to put flour for the older Pandits. When people used to go in the dead man room and put flour and put ash. Watch how Hindu people stupid, you know. It's just me, yes, you know. Only know how eyes. Stupid. If I tell children that now, they say, well, a real dotish mommy. Your father now dead. Let me just go over, correct me if I'm wrong. If I get it wrong, correct me. Your father now dead. Lock the room door. Put the flour on the floor first. Lock the room door. And when you get up, like Santa Claus come, you're excited to see where he leave. You go in the room. And my father, who now dead, if the funeral pass, you're lucky. The soul done gone the whole year, bounced by Yamraj, gone through hell or heaven, come round, born back in our belly, roughly 9 months past, born as a 1-foot horse, come in your house, leave a print with the 1-foot self, hopscotch through the window, and gone. My daddy born back as a horse. It sounds funny because children would think we crazy, but we people do that. For the older ladies here, could you imagine in those times telling your mother-in-law, lady, we are doing that, you know? You would have get kicked out. You would have get licks, truthfully. In those times, you follow. But let me agree, you're following, but you know what you're following. The whole point of the Bhagavad was to clarify some of these misconceptions. And my point this morning is it still has some misconceptions. It still have mistakes. You just see it when people talk about weak. Weak is a problem. Weak, if you ask any of these blessed people, when is the best time to do the funeral? As the person dead, one thing Hindu and Muslim agree on, soon as possible. Please understand this. See there. However, in the times of the plantation and the white man and the Irishman living in Trinidad, you know how Indian people like white people. They emulate these people. So what the plantation owner did, truthfully, the rum they drank, the diet they had, when they did it, we did it. How they dress, they did it, we did it. Until today, you will see in India people wearing with jacket when the place is very hotter than Trinidad. But that is the appropriate way, depending on where you have to go. Up to now in India, you will see people say you have to have a Christian name on document forms, and you have to conform with that. In Trinidad, that became a problem with a pundit, because he says, I don't have a Christian or a Christian given name. What name to put? For example, as people stood up, those things stopped, but the wake remained. In Irish culture, people drink rum, play games of chance, and celebrate the dead. The idea of the person opening a bottle of rum and throw for the spirits. and pour the rum on the ground. That is not Hindu. So watch how we just do. We will go and play all fours, etc. Bet game. You're not. We talk about in Raja Parikshit time. He says, Kaliyug, Sitaram, go and live with the people betting and gambling. Become a scourge. You have a debt. The soul is roaming. You light your deer and you're playing this game there, drinking rum, and then start a fast funeral is the next morning. What's supposed to happen is the person die, you light your deer on the kalsa and satsang until you're ready to do your funeral. Keep your funeral close to the death so that the soul does not go through trouble. It have a little room for we to continue working. This morning we continuing to talk about a couple of things, nothing long, nothing boring. Prem Sabulavindra Van Bihadilal Ki Jai. Before I call anybody else, I would like to call Pandit Beam to just give you a little blessing, Baba. You're a senior Baba with me this morning. Thank you for coming and blessing with people. Give you a little mantra or anything you like. A word of advice for all these young people. Everybody, call me Pandit. When I call a just say a mantra. Please say a piece like a Pandit talk, but advise my young people. That's what I want.
Namaste, Sitaram.
Sitaram.
And I just heard that somebody came from Siparia, so I came from Faizabad this morning and I reached first. But you know, they always say that the further away from the church, the earlier it is be, right? So I heard Pandit and I wanted to share a nice little story with you all. Continue on the theme that sometimes we do things and we don't know why we do it. So this person was going to do prayers home. And I don't know, some of the older people would have known that when we were coming out of the stage of building thatch houses, and we building two-story house, downstairs was the kitchen, and we entertained there, and upstairs was the place to sleep. So this family was going to do a prayers, and he saw that when his mother was doing the prayers, that they had a cat home, and he will take the cat and lock it in the kitchen. So he knows that. So they died and they went on, and he was going to do a prayers now. He went through the whole village looking for a black cat to lock in the kitchen, because he did not know why they do that. So too we go about doing things blindly, and everything goes haywire. So I was a very young boy when my father died, but I heard the story that when my father died, in my mother's side family, they will take off the sindoor 7 days after the widows will get in the family, and they will take off the sindoor and mark with a coal on the forehead. On my father's side family, they will do it the same day, as you would see something happen the day of the funeral. So there was big confusion as to what to do. So they decide to please my father's side family, we will do it on the day, and to please my mother's side family, we will do it 7 days after. Absolutely, profoundly nothing to do with Hinduism. Absolutely nothing. It is only tradition. Therefore, we have the great task of trying to separate what is tradition and what is scripture. And sometimes, I don't know if the other pundits experience this, you go to do wedding or you go to do funeral, and you have plenty pundits. Everybody know what to do. So you know me, I go sit down quiet and say, go ahead and take over now. Give me a chance to sit down. So this is what we go through. So sometimes when you open your mouth like Panditji here who's sitting on the Vyas, Gaddi, and you could get a lot of trouble on a Pandit simply by what you say, because it does not confer with what we know or what we are accustomed to or the tradition that we follow. So sometimes, as I say, we have climbed on the backs of the Pandits who have gone before us. But they didn't have books and things, you know. If you know what indentureship, they couldn't bring books. So they went by memory. Now we have all kind of book to read. There is nothing that you can't find. But are we reading it? And more importantly, are we following it? A question for us to follow. So before I go on, and I could really talk here when I see you put me to talk. But anyhow, because we are closing off the end, let me just chant. It's a bit little long, but we're praying, so we ain't gonna mind too much. Om Namaste Satete Jagat Karanai Namaste Chite Sarvalokashranai Namo Dvaita Tattvaya Mukti Pradaya Namo Brahmane Vyapine Shashvataya Tvamekam Sharanam Tvamekam Varenyam Tvamekam Jagatpalakam Swaprakasham त्वमेकं जगत्कर्त्रीपात्रीपहर्त्री त्वमेकं परं निश्चलं निर्विकल्पं भयानां भयं भीषणानां गतिप्राणिदं पावनं पावनानं महोचैप्रदानां नियन्त्री त्वमेकं परीक्षं परं रक्षणं रक्षणानं वयं त्वं स्मरामो वयं त्वं भजामो वयं त्वं जगताक्षरूपं नमाः सदेकं निदानं निरालं भवेशं भवाभूतिपूतं शरण्यं व्रजामः न तस्या कशेता प्रतिरिष्टि लोके न चैषिता निवेचा तस्या लिङ्गं सकारानं कारणादीपदीपो न तस्या कश्चिज्जानिता न च दीपं तमेश्वरानं परानं महेश्वरं तदेवतानदं पारणं हि देवतं प्रतिं प्रातिनं पारणं पारस्तान् वीद्यं देवं भुवानीशमेद्यं त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव ओम शांति 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 थैंक यू
Olya, like how this thing feeling? Too often in Hindu circle, as I was telling the few who was here at the beginning, it is be one organization against the next one. It is be Hindu people fighting Hindu people. But when we are catching, we nenning, nobody do fight then. Nobody do stand up when the bandit hitting you and raping you and robbing you. That time is you and you alone. That time the organization is helping you and could become a plague and a pestilence to the same people that making it, mining it, paying it, etc. For these people who are calling pundits here, all of there with Pandit Lovey guiding, he had surgery and he's still there with me this morning. One of the problems that you're going to have in Kali Yuga, people use people. And I know like Shivan who left, and I remember Pandit Surendra. Baucha, glad to meet you this morning. I remember Pandit Surendra a few years ago before he was married. All of them, we have a personal relationship. But if you're not careful, you use the Pandit the day when you need the prayer done, and afterwards, bad talk the same person and hurt them. This morning, as you see the people doing puja and showing gratitude, is not a show. But in order for your prayers to done, you are blessing, and it have to have a way to get it. Don't let me keep making the same crazy mistake like what people is the flower flow and turn down pity and all kind of thing. Let me get it right, so that God bless we could really see some help in my life. Prem Sabolo Vindravan Bihadilala Ki Jai. Time running away from we, oh my God. I don't have on my glasses, but is my Virginia Baba here? Baba, come now. Please. All make a little space for him to pass by earlier. We're trying to do 10 things at the same time. Pandit is from I forget how you call that area, Manassas. Manassas.
Sitaram, everyone. And a very special thank you to Panditji for extending an invitation. We are here for just a short period of time, and we got his invite and we decided to accept, like many of you. My pranams to all of you and the Brahmins and the Pandit, special Sitaram. You know, one of the things that had occurred to me recently is Bhagavad Mahapuran. It's an effort or a privilege to reconnect to God. And a few days ago, we had in Sanatan Dharma, in our tradition, what we call Gayatri Jayanti. Gayatri Jayanti devotees has the power also to allow each and every one of us to make that connection to God. So Panditji said something small, something short, so this popped into my mind. So I will invite you to close your eyes, sit comfortable where you are and chant with me. Gayatri mantra combination with Om is extremely powerful. This mantra by itself, we Brahmins, we know the power of Gayatri because we jagawe this thing like hundreds and thousands of times. So I'm sharing that with you today as you conclude your Bhagavad Mahapuran. Chant Om 3 times, you can follow along with me, and Gayatri mantra. Again, as you're chanting Om, feel your vibration is being elevated. तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्. बोले श्री गायत्री माता की जय. Now pray. In your mind, you put your mind, put your heart, put your intellect at the feet of Gayatri Ma. I was looking on the altar to see if I see the Gayatri Murti, but maybe it escaped me. But Durga Ma, Saraswati, Lakshmi, put your attention to that form. Oh Mother, we appeal to you this morning. Move us from darkness into light. Move us from untruth into truth. And move us from death into immortality. Om Asatoma Satkamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mitroma Amritam Gamaya. Bole Sri Gayatri Mata ki jai. Bole Sri Krishna Chand Bhagwan ki jai. Om Har Har Mahadev. Thank you, devotees. My humble Sitaram to each and every one of you.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you for being here. What the Murti or the Pitya Baba talking about is the one in the middle here with that 5-headed form. That is Gayatri Mata. When the person says Gayatri once, according to the path where it comes from, you burn away sin at minimum 24 hours. So the Baba, what he talking about, the Baba makes sure, and he says it as much as you could or as time would permit, so that when you and I, when we were listening to Bhagavad and it says you go and you touch the foot of the person, I am getting through his prayer that blessing. So this is why you see everybody busy. I talking here about them busy bowing by all them foot. Watch how we smart. We want help, and this is one way again help. Principal Umapati Mahadeva ki jai. Pandit Sharma ji, please come and say a little blessing for we people this morning.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Again, everybody. Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. प्रेम से बोलो श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय। व्यास जी, other esteemed pundits, respected elders and children of the rishis, once again namaskar, Sitaram.
Sita.
It is indeed my pleasure, having been invited, a very special invitation in my mind, my Panditji, to join in devotion over the last couple of days. It's my pleasure once again this morning to be in his company, and more so in the company of so many esteemed Pandits and you, wonderful devotees of God. Panditji would want us to be very brief, and therefore I will try to do that. He asked that we leave a message. And the message I want to leave this morning is to reiterate some of what I would have learned from Guruji from the last couple of nights that I was here and even this morning. And that message is quite simple, that everything we do, there's a right way to do it. And if we don't understand what we do and why we do it and how to do it, then understand that the consequences of not doing it right could be detrimental to us. It could have adverse effect on us. I know my good friend Pandit Bhim used an example. I could go to a chemical example where you have titration experiment and so on, but that might be too much for some of us. If the combination is not right, you don't get the exact result. And if the combination might be wrong, you can have a disaster. Ask those chemistry students in secondary school and even those chemists wherever. That's only the example. If we don't do it right, we get the wrong result. Children, do it right. And when you don't know what to do, find out. It is unfortunate that sometimes the person we go to find out from may not be the person who have the information. And sometimes those who profess to have information do not really know. It's a nice saying I used a long time ago. He who knows and knows that he knows is a wise man. And a wise man, somebody talked about it previously, is always humble. Arrogance? No. Those who know how much there is to know and always remain humble. One final thought. In the Sri Ramcharitamanas, Bhagwan Ram himself said to Seva when she was appealing to him and saying how much he don't know and how she was dull-witted and how she was meek and she didn't know how to pray and that kind of stuff. Bhagwan Ram, with his own mouth, said, Tulsidas records, Kaha Raghupati sunobha meri bata, man ho ek bhakti karna tha. That Bhagwan Ram says to Seva, the only thing he recognized as the devotion in the heart of the devotees. I want to ask you this morning that you pay attention to the sincerity of your love when you sit before the altar or whatever you do in life. Be sincere and let all your actions be as an offering of love to God. Let me ask you for a few moments to close your eyes and bow your heads as I chant one stuti taken from the Ganesh Puran. Om Gananam Tva Ganapati Gwang Havamahe Priyanang Tva Priyapati Gwang Havamahe Nidhinang Tva Nidhipati Gwang Havamahe Vyaso Mama Aham Jane Garbhara Matvam Jasi Garbhara Om Namo Ganebhyo Ganapati Vyaschao Namo Namo Bratebhyo Pratapati Vyaschao Namo Namo Gritsebhyo Gritsapati Vyaschao Namo Namo Virupebhyo Vishwarupe Vyaschao Namo Namo Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Harihi Om Anyatakcharanam Nasti Tvameva Ksharanam Mama Tasmai Karanya Bhavesha Raksha Raksha Ganeshwaraha. Harihi Om.
Thank you. Only remember, I just forget bad. So if I say I forget a name, I apologize.
Principal Seyapati Ramchandra ki jai.
You represent daddy name is?
Pandit Punesh Maharaj.
Right. So this is Pandit Bunesh's son, Pandit Kushwaha. If you need air condition fix, this is the man. This is the man. Go ahead, Baba.
So this morning, I would like to thank Panditji for inviting me, my Dharam along with my colleague Pandit Surendra. Well, so many advice is given this morning, so many lessons. I would like to say just one simple thing given in Ramayana Katha, one of the Naura Bhaktis in 9 devotion that Sri Ram was telling to Sevari Mata is that anything you do in life, simple thing to do is always chant the name of the Lord. Right? So we join hands, clasp hands as we pray, asking Prabhu to bless us all this morning. Hari Om Mangalam Bhagwan Vishnu Mangalam Garudadvaja Mangalam Pundarikaksham Mangalayatano Hari Om Mangalam Bhagwan Vishnu Mangalam Garudadvaja Mangalam Pundarikaksham Mangalayatano Hari Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Principal Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki jai. Thank you.
Thank you, Baba. Pandit, up, you coming? Come now. We're going to finish this portion just now, shortly. Prayer and Nandi, all arrange lota for all Pandits. Lota and water for all of them. Call the community all a gift just now. Sit down, Baba. Wait up, sorry.
Pleasant Sitaram teaching everyone. Shri Satya Sanatan Dharma ki jai. Officiating via us, my good friend Pandit Keshav, Pandit Surendra, all the Brahman Devatas present here. Pandit Vishnu Misir. Baba, good to see you. When we finish, we go talk. My devotees, let us all clap our hands and close our eyes as we give a little word of benediction and prayer today. As we once again thank Almighty God for giving us the opportunity to come and listen to the different Brahman Devatas give their blessings, give our officiating Vyas that knowledge, and we pray that Bhagwan, Shri Krishna blesses him so that he can live 100 more years again to do the Seva, the devotion, and do what we have and to learn from this Vyas here. Let us all pray. Om Devaki Sutta Govindam Vasudeva Jagatpati Dehi Me Tanayam Krishna Twamaham Sharanam Gataha Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namaha. Baba said very briefly, but to give a short benediction, but to give a little message to the youths. So, the younger people, Jai Sitaram. My name is Pandit Anup Maharaj, and you all are the future. Let me explain to you briefly. The purpose of Bhagwat Mahapuran is why we listen to Bhagwat Puran. The purpose of listening to the Bhagwat Mahapuran is to purify the mind, strengthen devotion, and to attain spiritual liberation. Some of the benefits of receiving in the Bhagwat Mahapuran is spiritual purification, strengthening of devotion, fulfilling desires, understanding what and who Lord Krishna is, the love for each other, liberation in the cycle of birth and death, culture and social significance. So my youths today, as we prepare for the final of this Bhagwat Mahapuran, we are all indeed blessed and very fortunate to be, sometimes just like anybody else, I myself would have listened to Bhagwat Mahapuran. Well, you know, with modern technology now, I'll give Baba a little like and think, see, Baba, you're doing a good work. You know, and I have enjoyed the beautiful discourses that Guruji has given here throughout the length and breadth. And one of our previous speakers had already said, Baba does so much of charitable work. We have spoken length and breadth. It's just for me to vouch my support and helping him out with that, because, you know, one hand definitely leads to another hand, and like that we extend. And we are so blessed and fortunate in this manner that here every creed and race finds an equal place. And definitely God bless our nation, because we come from a society where Bhagwat Mahapuran is not about stigmatism and about this one and about that one, but it's about being here and being our brother's keeper, educating the youths and making sure that they are the future generation. And that is what Panditji is doing here. And that is what I myself in my mandir in Sapara, the Sapara Shiv Mandir, together with my dad, Pandit Kapalev Maharaj, we have been doing, trying to, you know, instigate and bring things, the perspective for the youths, and tell them about the importance of Sanatan Dharma. Baba, you know, now to go into medical school, you had to get recommendation from your Baba. So my dear youths, it is extremely important to stay in your culture. Don't let anybody sidetrack you. Believe in what you know to be right. Do the right things. Hear the right things. See the right things. And as Guruji, your Baba here will tell you, always do what is right. Prem se bolo Shri Satya Sanatan Dharma ki jai.
Thank you, Baba. As Pandit Rajendra, Baba from Virginia, the first time I went to read in Virginia, I went by Pandit, and he was a very gracious host. And Pandit, till today, you're an auntie, and I got to meet your son and your family. Thank you for your kindness. In everything we need, we Babas them to do. And I'll tell you this, I just forget everything. Truthful. I just go by Uncle Steve's house and I go forget my chalisa book, my song. He needs and them is to fix prayers for me when we go in to do Lakshmi prayers, 4 o'clock in the morning in younger days. And I'll leave my song by this house and I'll leave my bell by that house. And sometimes even Uncle Steve will say, Babs, don't forget, say a Gayatri job for me. We does forget, I use it myself. But if you don't know your stuff, you may not realize that something forget. We are getting older, and we does forget. So you have how much time? If I'll ever cook with we, in this house, I will throw every single thing in that pot, but I will not throw salt. In this house, I never throw salt because I will forget if I throw the salt or not. So she just throw the salt, and I say, you do your part, you throw the salt. And she knows she alone just throw the salt, and she just remember everything. Trust me, every mistake I make, Priya know it. Pindravan Bihari Lala ki Jai. Pandit Surendra, please come and give me a blessing, Baba. Whilst we listening and getting blessing, everybody please make sure all my Baba and them get a lota, all of mango tree cut down.
एक बाब लोग जानन स्वामी की जय वृंदावन मिहिलाल की जय Vir Vyashi, other pundits. It's a privilege to be here this morning on behalf of my Dolahin, my mother who is here. Thank you, Babaji, for inviting us to be part of this here. There is a beautiful chaupai that says, Suno Swami Tumarana Gopal, Sarakado Santana Pratipalaka, Vipati Hamani Viloka Huswami, Kripa Sindur Ura Antrayami. Whenever we have miseries or misfortunes in life, who we turn to? We turn to God. So whenever we have that opportunity, to worship God, make that time for God. Not when we have problems, then we turn to God. We are approaching this auspicious period of Christian Janam, and what a beautiful way to celebrate that period by Bhagavad Puran. So let us all bow our heads in prayer as we pray to that form of Bhagwan Sri Lord Krishna, that may he continue to shower his choice blessings upon each and every one of us here onwards. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samprabha Nilvignam Kudu Me Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvara Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu Mangalam Garurarvajam Mangalam Pundarikaksha Mangalayarta Nodhane. Everyone, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Satya Sanatan Dharma ki Jai. Thank you.
Thank you, Baba. In my life, I would say this, in getting it right, if you're lucky to get a pundit and a wife to come by your house, God bless you. But for some people, the pundit where is Janu, so I'll respect him. And the lady, well, I'm not Jani. Between me and you, partner to partner here now. Them is the Babas, leave them. But take my advice. You see that lady? That pundit is nothing without that lady. Give honor where it is really, really due. Really. Don't make that mistake. If we are falling for Kali Yuga, think what I'm saying. You feel I am the scripture. Left to me this morning, said, Brandaddy, I wanted to come in a merino. Anybody who know me, I always in my white t-shirt, relaxing. The place hot. You think I want to wear this kurta? This kurta is proof that I will listen to that leader. Otherwise, I won't wear it. Sit down, Baba. Come, Bhakti TV Pandit. Come say a little mantra here for me and give me a blessing. We're trying to live all we Babas. Why behave yourself?
Jai Sri Sitaram, everyone. Babaji, firstly, my humblest apologies for being late. I didn't realize it was so far. You know, when you consume media, you think of everything as being right there. So, I thought it was right there. And so I'm very happy to be here this morning. And like I said, I'm so sorry for being so late.
Baba is coming from all the way in Baratari.
Well, a little closer than that, around West. Let us all place our hands together and we offer a short prayer to Ganesh Ji. Ganesh Utsav is going to be upon us very soon. And Ganesh Baba is the remover of all obstacles and difficulties. We are in an intense period of prayer, Krishna Janam, Radha Ashtami, Ganesh Jayanti, Pitrapaksh, Navratri, Diwali and so on, Kartik Snan. Harihi Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakadeshu Sarvada. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Reverend Pandit Keshava Gosine, all the other many Pandits who are here. I wouldn't call anyone's name because I might miss someone. I see one of my former school supervisors, Mr. Lachman, Pandit Lachman. He was responsible for stealing one of my Ramlila players in St. Augustine.
Bury the hatchet, bury the hatchet.
And since that, we have not had Ramlila.
He thief
But
Ram.
I know he has a grandson, so we will thief him back and we'll restart our Ramlila some years from now. My dear devotees, Panditji and Dulahin and members of your group, you have been doing amazing work. And I felt I had to come here this morning to tell you that whether it is your food drive or your clothing drive or your blood drive, it is all in the interest of humanity. Many of us put up tall jandis when it's time to do puja for Navratri. You want to get 20-foot pole to put it up. But as soon as the Baba leave, we bicha away all the lessons and leave it on the floor. We must wear our dharma as a source of pride. It must become our character. It must become our habits. It must become our character. It must become who we are. I think more than anything that Baba can say from this Vyas Gadi here is that he wears his dharma under the kurta. Yeah? Just under the kurta. It is who he is. It is who we must be. All of us must take a lesson from Sri Hanumanji, where he remains the dut. No matter how powerful Hanuman Baba is, he remains the messenger of Sri Ram for Bhagwat Saptaha Yagna, 21 nights, 21 sessions. You would have listened attentively. But more than listening, that good word that you heard, that good news that he brought you of hope and resilience in the face of difficulties and problems and so on. You must take that back with you to your places of work, to your home, to your family members, and let that be your message as well. So not just Hindus. Sanatan Dharma is not for Indian people. I want you to understand that. We might be the custodians now, but it is for the whole of humanity. The many problems that this world faces, the many problems that Trinidad and Tobago faces, all the difficulties that we have can be overcome through the lessons of Sanatan Dharma, which are not just eternal, but they're universal. It belongs to no one sect of Hinduism. It belongs to no one branch of Hinduism. It belongs to no one people in Sanatan Dharma. And take those messages with you. It'll be on Baba's Facebook for about 30 days before it's deleted. But we have it forever because we downloaded it. So take those messages with you and let it encourage you to encourage others to live better lives. And when we have better lives, we live better lives, one person at a time, we will have a better country. We'll have a better nation, we'll have a better world. So this is a short little message I want to share with you. We are very blessed to have Pandita Bedanand Prasad, who I am sure is much busier than all of us put together. And he has made the time to come here as well. So that speaks volumes, Panditji, of the work that you've been doing. So thank you very much for ambushing me as I walked in. Thank you very much. I wish you all Bhagwan's blessings. May you continue to do the work. You need a bigger hall, obviously. You have outgrown your space. I think now is an opportune time. There's a lot of state land around. Now you have 5 years to make sure you get a piece of that land. All right? No, don't get confused. The next side they're giving you none, you know. Hindus are the only group that has not traditionally gotten state lands to build our institutions. I want you to remember that.
That is fact.
We get lands from our Aja, a sadhu in the village, who would have bought it with their hard-earned money, and they take it up and they give it and say, build a mandir. So obviously the ashram needs extending, and because you're doing the good work, and again, Panditji, blessings. Jai Sri Sitaram, everyone.
Jai Sri. The truth is, I just deal like friend with all of them. We just be talking stupidness on the phone. We just laugh and talk. And because of that, I just wanted to invite them home to feed them and to share it with everybody. The truth is, we cannot get confused. You see, colonizing thoughts is bringing racial divide and religious divide. Same India that was once one, where it had that lingam that is now in Pakistan, that was once part of India. To break the people, you get it in the head that one side need their own place, and the two people started to kill one another till today it have war. But if you watch the blue fella on the wall, he's the man that start Rasta. If you watch the fella across from you and you call him Sham, he's very black, dark. Sham. Keshava, the person with very curly hair. Then, if that is what you bow to and worship and revel, how you go vex with people because of different texture in the hair? How you go vex with people? Only fair people is people, only thin people is people, only straight hair people is people. You could do better than that. Let me stop getting this thing wrong, life short. If you're helping, help everybody. That is why we do share parasad for everybody. God bless you. You get neighbors that say, you know what, when you make that parasad, keep some for me. Auntie Angela and Uncle Bali is two people that were assisting every day in the kitchen. Auntie Sita from all the way up Brazil village stayed with us for the duration of this yagya. And they just come because they just get the help. And everybody, we just always tell you, when you're going, carry, share food. That's part of we dharma. But no way, no way it is say share food for only people that look like you, pray like you, or think like you. Share food for everybody. And all here last night in Bhagwat, he said, I live in everybody. But foolish people, just watch me in the idol, the book says the murti, but don't see me in the innocence of children, in the female form of the lady, or in any form I take. God make every race. If you want to say, well, God live in this race, and he can't live in that race, well, something special about you. But God says, I'm in everybody. For that reason, we say Sitaram to all. And you share parasad to everybody, etc. Whilst I'm waiting for it to move from my Pandita Bhinanan. Too often, we don't give credit where credit is due. Long before I was a Pandit, Daddy died when I was 13. We did the 1 year. 15, tides anyway. Born vegetarian, but wasn't brought up in Trinidad. We grew up abroad. But for those of you that know my family, my father's side, my father's big sister, Miss Samintra, married into the Bakey's family. And the Bakey's family were always supported by Pandit Devki, Pandit Janki, etc. These older heads, Pandit Narayan. And when I was small, Pandita Bhinanan had a purple, Babs, and it was what? Purple wagon. One of the things that I wanted to tell Pandita Bhinanan this morning, in our Dharma, as Pandit from Bhakti TV, all know him, doing videoing all over, Hindu people have the unique experience of being criticized and condemned for some strange thing. If we pray over the food, we are bad if we try to share that food. Hindu people in India and Trinidad, if you want to go to our school, you have to convert your religion. If you need help in places where it have starvation in India till today, you have to convert your religion and then you can access health and help. It seems as if your dharma is always under attack. And if you're not careful, it is in trouble. In the 80s, coming into the 90s for young children, there was a little kind of lull after Pandit Ramdat Vyas became ill. And Pandit Abhiranan was the person, this young, handsome, well-singing, very relatable Pandit that did what no other Pandit at that time could do in his style. Because whilst a Pandit would come with his dhoti, blow the sank, say the prayers, which is true, breaking it down from the text, the book that Pandit talked about that was not available to everybody. Till today, consider what I'm saying. If you go to a religious class in a secondary school, the Seventh-day Adventists, the different religious bodies give out books or copies of the Bible. But Hindus don't give out a copy of a Geeta or a Ramayana. So in many homes till today, we don't have the discipline to have our religious books. So one way we get it wrong, we don't even read we own book. Imagine that is the practice. And then Pandit Abhiranan come. I remember he used to do prayers for my cousin, Miss Anne. The first time I saw you, you were doing prayers by Vichy and them New Grant after Prasads, coming down to Third Trace Junction. I don't know your experience with this Baba, but everybody fall in love with the Pandit. And it was a nice thing. It was a blessing. Because we didn't have that. In Trinidad, you had your Baba, shut your mouth, the Pandit reach. Think about the time. You had to stay quiet. These children couldn't run in the time of he father. I remember Pandit Devki doing prayers in the back of Gajra land for some family. And as this man stepped foot in the place, it was different. And then Baba come and he would make a joke and laugh. And that was one of the things that was different. It was different. And it attracted young people and it kept people. Ramayana started to read in a way that is unique to this Pandit. This man saved our Dharma at a time when we was in trouble. Every Pandit here, tell me where you see. And you see different styles. Everybody have a different method. But when we was fighting what we could not explain because our woman children go naps and I want to get the surgery in the hospital and need help. Don't blame hungry people for lining up for food and they say, okay, I'll change my religion today if my children could get food. Because the food banks come with religion. They come with a deal. Change your religion. In India, when you hear Prime Minister Modi run the people from the country, it was for a reason. If you change your religion, then you will get everything. In our culture, in our country, in our history, this man, in his smiling, loving, jovial, very nice way, made it very appealing to young people to stay in your Dharma. Do you remember the days when he used to be on Akashvani 106? How many people did not know we would have a radio station? 1, 2, sit down every night when Uncle Chris sing would be talking and Pandit would come on and you would stop. Imagine we don't have attention span for nothing. We would watch one video on TikTok for 15 seconds and get fed up. And we could listen to this guru, this Pandit for 2 hours, normal, night after night, yug after yug, place after place. We never had that. Today, Babs, thank you. Thank you. Too often people is wait too long and talk a pack of stupidness. And they don't take the time to say from their heart how they feel. Baba, we talking about guiding young, but you live it, boy. I don't know how you just do it. I'm a Pandit and I don't have stamina like you. I really don't know how you do it. You're married, you had children, and I sure you sacrifice your life for all of we to have praise. And I really can't pay for that. There's nothing I could give you to compensate for the time you lost in your bed, in your home when you could have gone on holiday, or teach your children something like playing a video game. But Babs, because of your sacrifice, we better off. Because of your shoulder, I could sit down here. Because of people like you, Pandit Sunil and Pandit Narad and all these other pundits that inspire young people. You don't like this one, that's fine. You don't like that one, that's fine. But this man keep we where we is today. Pandit Abhidhanand, thank you very much. For the person who asks me how a pundit could bow by somebody's foot, you're talking stupidness. No fault for them kind of truck, man. Baba, please give me a blessing. We closed Bhagwat last night. Anything. Give me a little piece of Geeta, Dhyan or something for Krishna. Anything you feel necessary.
प्रेम से बोलिए श्री विष्णु भगवान की जय. You see all I'm thinking he said, Om Shri Krishna Arpanam. It all belongs to Bhagwan only. As we have assembled at this beautiful ashram, I will just chant a few mantras of the Geeta, in particular the Geeta Dhyanam. And we invite everyone to think about Bhagwan Krishna. As it is said, when any yagya is finished, one verse or a few verses of the Bhagavad Gita must be chanted. And so, as we think of Bhagwan Krishna, we pray that, Lord, you are the embodiment of Dharma. You are Dharmatma. And this morning, as we chant your name, may the power of your blessing be upon Pandit Keshava, his beautiful family, and this beautiful ashram this morning. May you continue to be the driver of the chariot of our lives. And may you lead us on the battlefield of this world to victory and to success. Everyone here this morning might be facing a battle of some nitya. And so we pray that may you give us strength, courage, inspiration to keep on keeping on, as we offer everything unto you, O Krishna. Om Partaya Pratiboditam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamrita Varshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Amba Tvamanusandadhami Bhagavat Gite Bhavadveshinim Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhi Pullara Vindayat Patra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajvalvito Jnanamaya Pradeepaha Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vitraikapanaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Geetamrita Duhe Namaha Sarvopanishado Gavo Dugda Gopala Nandana Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdam Geetamritam Mahat Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum Bhishmadrona Tata Jayatra Tajala Gandharani Lotpala Shalyagrahavati Kripena Vahani Karnena Velakula Ashwattama Vikarna Gora Makara Duryodhana Vartini
सोतिर्ना खलु पाण्डवैरननदी कैवर्तक केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितं लोके सज्जन षट्पदैरहरः पीपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारत पंकजं कलिमल प्रध्वं श्रिन श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैर्साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततर्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मां शुचः अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राणापानसमायुक्तः पचाम्यन्नं चतुर्विधं यत्र योगेश्वर कृष्ण यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्री विजयो भूति द्रवानीति मतिर्मम ओम श्री कृष्ण अर्पणमस्तु। प्रेम से बोलिए श्री वृंदावन विहारी लाल की। For the past week, everyone would have had the blessing of listening to Bhagwat Mahapuran, and this morning we are chanting Geeta, or the verses of the Geeta Dhyanam. What is the difference between Bhagwat Mahapuran and Bhagavad Gita? What's the difference? Why do we say Bhagwat and why do we say Bhagavat? It's not Bhagavad Gita, it's Bhagavad Gita. And it's not Bhagavat Puran, it's Bhagavat Mahapuran. You hear the difference? So why it is pronounced like that? Anybody answer? Giving you two laddu.
Seva Asin.
So it's very interesting and very beautiful to understand that in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord Himself is speaking and giving knowledge. Therefore, it is called Bhagavat. So when Bhagwan is speaking, Bhagwan is the teacher. That's why in the second chapter, when Arjuna, if you notice, if you read from chapter 1, first verse, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yutsavaha, to around the second verse of the second chapter, you will see nowhere Bhagwan Krishna spoke. Then, in the third verse of the second chapter, he said, Klaibhyam masmagama partha naitattvai upapadyati kshudram hridaya daudbalyam tyakto tishta parantapa. That time, the only verse he spoke was to shout at Arjuna to get up and to do what he has to do. And then he stopped quiet again. And then, later on, in the 7th or the 8th verse, Arjuna said, Karpanya dosho pahata swabhavaha prachame tvam dharma sammuda chetah yat shreyasya nishchitam bruhi tanme. This line is very important. Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. That, in that particular verse, Arjuna says, Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. I have now become your disciple, O Krishna. I am going to shut up. You now speak. And from the 11th verse
onwards, Bhagwan Krishna started speaking when he said, Ashochanana shochastvam pragyavadham shabhashase gatasu na gatasulcha nanu shochanti panditaha. Arjuna, the time has come now where you must elevate yourself and stop grieving. Don't speak like a wise man and act like a other wise man. Now, from that point, in the second chapter, Bhagwan Krishna started speaking. And when God speaks, it is called Bhagavat. Now, in the Bhagavad Mahapuran, who is speaking? In the Bhagavad Mahapuran, Sri Shukadev Ji Maharaj is speaking to Raja Parikshit, who had only 7 days to live. After Takshak gave him what you call a bite. And you would have listened to all the beautiful kathas in the Bhagavad. There, Raja Parikshit said, after he got the shrap of living only for 7 days, he said, if I only have 7 days to live, the best thing for me to do is listen to Bhagavad Katha. And he invited Sri Shukadev Ji Maharaj, and he started speaking the glories of Bhagwan Krishna. So, to conclude, in my message, when God speaks, it is called Bhagavat. And when the devotee of God speaks, it is called Bhagavat. You and I are all blessed to listen to Bhagavat. We are all blessed to listen to the devotees of God speaking on God, on the outside. But whenever you want to listen to God speak to you, close your eyes and listen on the inside. Bhagavat is outside. Bhagavat is inside. And so, Baba, thank you so very much for inviting me. Baba sent one nice video for me, inviting me to come here. And this morning, I came from Grandi last night, 12 o'clock. We have a yagna in Grandi. This morning I had puja 6 o'clock, and then I have to go at puja after this one. But when I saw that message that he sent, I said, nah boy, I had to come. He said, Baba, you have to come. When you come to the yagya, my place will be blessed, and I feel so honored to have you. I said, nah boy, I'm dropping everything and coming. You see, when something comes from the heart, it always touches. And thank you for your humility. Thank you for your love. Thank you for doing what you are also doing. It's not only about all of us as pandits. Everybody is doing their piece in their own way. We have so many devotees here from the Om Shanti Ashram and the Avocat, what you call the Mandir and Avocat, Akbar trees, Pandit Surin is here. And so many pandits who are governing their own areas and keeping this, what you call Bhagavat, going on. They are spreading the message of Bhagwan, and we are all doing our little pieces. So may God bless us all. May we all stay strong, and may we all keep the light of Sanatana Dharma burning. And we invite you all to join with us in Grandi tonight. Yeah, come here. You have to come Grandi tonight. Thank you.
You see what I'm saying? If you're Pandit, all these people here who was talking for this yag, this is our 3rd consecutive yagna, Bhagwat. We're going for 7. When you use Bhagwat and you share food and you do the prayers and you do everything, the blessing. Sometimes when you see people dying off, when you see the next generation of Pandits, we have to be careful. I will not have children in this life. Check how many Pandits are in that we, who will not take up the mantle for the next generation to get your wedding or your funeral. If we are not careful, we will end up in trouble. So, society has to do certain things to protect itself, maybe from itself too, right? And this is why our initiative involves everybody. With your support, we could do it. I love how that little rain fall just now. You see how nice this feeling? That is why I wanted to share it with you. Babs, we didn't play drum, dantal, organ for this whole jargon. All these children come. If you see drum, Shama and them high everything. Everybody scratching to play. But part of the lesson, beside the cooking and everything, we teaching them to play more instruments, but we are teaching them more humility. So where you end up with a lot of pundits, they wouldn't say it, but I say it. You end up with a lot of personality clashing in the satsang. This one could play drum better than that one can't sing if this one singing. And the poor pundit, this get greedy, just trying to hold the ship together to keep the satsang going. It is the truth. So the whole idea was, could we do jag without it? Yes. Could you remember a time when you get to sing a song or you get to, come in the temple and do your part and see the value in it? Yes, that's part of it too. Don't get it wrong. If Kali Yuga is you have an opportunity and you're so confused, you're doing proper stupidness. And God gave the gift, but you're misusing it. Then that same gift could be a dam. That same thing you're doing could cause you trouble. If the pundit go to do prayers and he say Gayatri, and you hear you only picking up Sida, and here saying Gayatri, how are you going to help people? The pundit are he part, but all of us, musicians, the cook, just like if you cook and it have a way, everybody here know, cover your hair, don't let your hair fall in the pot. For some people, that's standard, not necessary. You know how much time we go on to eat food and his hair spit boulder. If we do what we Dharma preach, we gonna be good. But part of we Dharma is where that book say last night, don't look at me in a pity or a murti, and you do not see me in the heart of everybody. You cannot practice prejudice. You cannot love one and hate the other one. Don't do it. It is a trap. I feel Pandit closed off my jag wonderful. I feel real calm and real peaceful. I feel all they could come and bow by all the Pandit foot quick. And then we'll go and put back the dirt. I wanted to do the return of the mati, the mud. Because we just do it wrong in the wedding. Be a big fuss bring she. And then break fast and forget about it. The new thing now, like how they paying people to bathe the dead, the newest method is the neighbor's son go and carry the mud by a fig tree and throw it. And when they have trouble in the house, they want to know why. It is the goddess you bring the mud, when they tote the tree. So for that reason, we're just going across the road. Everybody, I think we have the little lota there. Everybody have a lota? All right. So here how we going and do this. These people come here if you wish, to come and bow by your Baba foot. My advice, do it quick. These people come this side, come quick by Ponita Bidina, because you had to run prayers again, and I'm keeping them back as is. If all they want to come by me, or they could come up by me, and let everybody just make a quick circle. However, we're moving. 1, 2, 3. When they come by, the Baba just sprinkle a little water on. Together, everybody. Tvameva Mata. Tvameva Bandhu Chasaka. Tvameva Vidya. Tvameva. Tvameva sarvam. Together, Om Shanti. Prem Swalo Mahapati Mahadeva ki, Pavana Putra Hanumana ki, Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki, Vindravan Bihari Lal ki, Satya Sanatan Dharma ki, Jai, 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 Sitaram. Sitaram, everybody.